I wonder what's on the tube.
Welcome back.
Thank you for being a friend.
What you talking about, Willis?
You are a meathead.
No soup for you.
Don't touch that dial. Adjust those bunny ears, because what time is it, Jay?
It's time for a Mayberry Man watch along.
Woo!
Wait, who's Jay? I'm Doug.
Sorry.
Man, oh man. We've talked about Mayberry Man on this show before. We've talked about the Andy Griffith Show. If you want to know a little more in-depth on that one, go back and listen to that episode. But as you can probably see on your screen, or you're about to hear in your ears, we have some great guests tonight. Now, I did mention, I think, last episode that Mayberry Man is now free to watch on Tubi, Amazon Prime, and YouTube. Just search Mayberry Man full movie on YouTube. You'll find it. Was it Encourage TV, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you can join us watching the film. But first, we should introduce our guests.
Why don't you do that, Jay?
All right. We'll start over here with Eric Lowry. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Jay. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for having me on.
Heck yeah. I reached out to 5 people, and 3 of them are here. I said, who are my 5 favorites? So don't tell anyone else, okay? I won't tell if you don't.
And we'll just keep it between us.
No one watches this show anyway. Don't worry.
No. Don't say that.
Yeah. Anyway,
we got a couple. No.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about how you came aboard Mayberry Man?
Well, I have been a fan of the Andy Griffith Show most of my life, and like many people. And I did not realize that there was a thing such as the Andy Griffith Show Rerun Watchers Club and all these events and activities until the early 2000s. There was an event in Newcastle, Indiana, Mayberry in the Midwest it was called, and the celebrities came and tribute artists came, and it was close enough to me, and I thought, you know what, I need to see what this is all about. And so we got a group of folks that went to that thing, and man, I was blown away. I had no idea that this kind of thing happened, and it was so much fun. And so that was my first taste of things like Mayberry festivals. Got to meet a lot of the folks that I still know today, and went back home, and I thought that was kind of the end of it. And then the event started happening in Indianapolis much later than that, and so I went to that and met some of the same people from the early 2000s. And interestingly enough, I was asked, we've never had a mayor tribute artist. We've got all these other characters. Nobody's ever played a mayor. You ought to come and join us and play a mayor. And of course I said, I can't do what you guys do. Come on, I can't do that. And so for 2 years, a lady named Pat Mundy, whose husband, Bob Mundy, was Briscoe Darling for many, many years, a tribute artist. She nagged me for 2 years. And finally I said, well, all right, if I'm going to think about this, tell me what you got in mind. I mean, what Mayberry mayor, what could I do? She said, oh, well, you remember Mayor Pike, the first mayor? Oh, you mean the short, fat, bald one? Okay, yeah, I get it.
It sounds like when I was in high school when they were doing The Lion King, they said, okay, and Jay, you're going to be Pumbaa. And anyway, moving on. I was like, whoa. Why is the fat kid in class got to be Pumbaa?
Well, you work with what you got, I guess. So anyway, I still turned her down. I said, I know I can't do what you do. So to cut to the chase, at Christmas one year, she gave me a little package, and she made me open it, and it had one of those string ties like Mayor Pike wears in there. And she said, now you have your first official piece of wardrobe. Between Christmas and the spring, you are required to go get a suit and a hat and everything else because you are. So I was sort of drafted into that thing. And I tell you, it was one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. I have had so much fun being involved in this whole Mayberry world. And so fast forward to a few years ago when Stark and Court came to Mayberry Days, and we met them, and they talked about after they had that first experience, they came back and said, man, we've got an idea for this movie thing, and we want to base it around these festivals and these events, and we've got a story, and we'd like to have a lot of you tributes be involved. And of course we said, oh man, that'd be great, that'd be fun.
He's talking about the director and the producer, and their father was an actor on the show, correct?
Right. He was the first Dud Wash, the first guy that married Charlene Darlin.
Oh wow!
So they had a familial connection to the show, and then just like you, they were blown away by these events.
Absolutely.
Yep, there you go, right there.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, they were just shocked by us, and all the things that happened, and I guess we are shocking to some folks. But anyway, so it was so impactful that Stark went home and wrote the screenplay, and he and Court started talking about how they might put something together. And they came back and kind of made a pitch, and of course all of us just thought it was a wonderful idea, and we bought a storyline and thought, man, that is perfect. That just works great. So the funny part was, not long after that, they came to me and pulled me aside and said, we think that we might want you to play another character in the movie as well. I said, now listen, I'm not an actor. I've never done anything like this. I can be the mayor because I've been doing it for 10 years now.
We want you to play Andy. Wait, what?
Andy it would be like the fat Elvis, it'd be Andy later in life when he let himself go.
Or Opie, there you go. You can play
Opie. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Opie and I do have the same hairline, so maybe at this age, maybe we could do that. So anyway, they asked me to consider doing this other part. They gave me a script section there to kind of look through and all, and I was really flattered by that. I wasn't sure I could do it, but I told them I'd try, and so that was I guess we can talk a little bit more detail about that at the right time, but that was really the most interesting part to me, not playing the mayor because I've done that a million times, but doing this different character that I had never done anything like that in my life.
Basically the real person who would be the
right,
mayor.
The person who would the
person behind the mayor. Yeah,
exactly.
Isn't it? It is kind of weird that does anyone ever do Andy Taylor or Opie at these things? I've never seen anybody in any of the pictures or anything.
Years ago we had a young man from Tennessee who did Opie for quite a few years, and he's now married and got kids. But man, he was the spitting image of Opie. Back probably 15 years ago. And so he came right in. But nobody has really done Andy until recently. We got a young man that's come around for the last year or so, and he favors him a lot. And Jeff, I've talked about this a lot, and others, that, Andy was such a beloved and respected person. And, so it was difficult for somebody to think, how can I do him and do him justice?
We talked about that on our Andy Griffith episode. Just watching, I'm like, damn, this dude's charming.
Oh, man.
This is just a charming son of a bitch. I don't know.
Charming, and he, like you said, beloved, and just everyone in Mayberry depends on Andy, no matter what.
And that's the second part that, as you guys know the story of the series, Andy went from being the funny guy to being the straight man. Mm-hmm. And so that makes it also a little more difficult to have somebody portray him because he's the straight guy, so he doesn't have all those crazy lines, crazy antics, stuff like, Gomer and gets a chance to do some of those. So it does make it a little more difficult to do a tribute to Andy.
I've seen an interview with him where he said that he wished the show was just called Mayberry, right?
Yeah.
He didn't want it to be the Andy Griffith Show. He wanted it to be about everyone in the whole town.
Well, and that may be one of the best things about the show and why it is so beloved for so many years, is it truly is an entourage, a cast-driven show. There are characters that stand out, but the best episodes are ones where you get storylines involving 5 or 6, of the townspeople. That's what makes it a very special thing.
Well, I guess we'll go on. We'll talk about Chris Bauman now. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man.
A spin off over here. No pun intended. Old Gomer.
Yeah.
See you guys. It's kind of funny you're asking how we got involved, and
Yeah.
I never met any of these people or you.
Whoa, these people. Really. Whoa, calm down. Man.
Yeah, wait a minute.
I never had met any of them. I was just a ninth caller when I heard about an acting gig.
I'm right there with you. That's how I found it too. Yep.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time. I mean, I was a stand-up comic in the early 90s until I figured I could do it during really at any temperature. And then in around 96, that joke didn't go over too well, did it?
That's a way homer, Chris.
I closed that business shop up, and we started, and I went into improvisational comedy. And always in the meantime, I had always, I've been a Barney Fife impersonator. I used to go to the Indiana State Police and do little stupid lectures, and I'd read out of the Barney Fife's Guide to Love, Life, and Self-Defense, and I'd just read things and give them a little talk, and they ate it up, and it was silly and stupid, and I moved along, and I was just an actor and a comic. So, when this came to town, I had never been to a Mayberry Fest. I had heard of it, but I already knew they had a Barney, and I had no understanding or what I could possibly do, much to like Eric's story. What do you want me to do? Well, I called, and I was talking with, Jay, you and I had an audition, and I think I had auditioned once before for the Mayberry Man movie as some guy anyway, I had gotten the part, I was told, but then they changed the script completely and wrote that whole part out. And so then I had to re-audition for a new role, which was Crook number 3. And I thought, wow, my act has really moved.
Yeah, there's 3 crooks in here, and that's when I first met him. The first thing we did, I think we all auditioned for the crooks.
It's funny because it's everything that you dream about when you have auditions in Hollywood or in real film, is that you get something, and you really are honestly crook number 3. Come on now.
Yeah, and I'm in West Michigan, so I drove to Danville, Indiana, and it's the Mayberry Cafe where they had the audition, so it's all kind of themed.
Well,
right along with
when it came through that I didn't get the part, I called my agent, and I saw that they were getting ready or heard for some kind of a grapevine, because again, I don't know anybody. So my information came from my agency, and they said, yeah, you didn't get the part. I'm like, oh, that just doesn't make any sense. There's no reason. I'm too much of a super fan. I'm too ready and willing and able. What can they possibly need? And evidently they called me back and said, well, they want to know if they're a Gomer quick. Can you do Gomer? And I said, well, sure. I've never done Gomer before. Ever. What do you do? Well, you improvise. And I put together an audition tape and sent it in, which Stark has shown it to the public. It is available and people can see on YouTube. So
they had another Gomer first?
Well, right. They had an original, like Mayor was saying. They have a guy named Michael who was doing it before, but COVID came in when we were shooting the film, so people bowed out of things, and he just ended up kind of going to the side and didn't participate, much like our tribute artist of Goober.
I do remember, wasn't I can't remember their names right now, but like Little Ricky from I Love Lucy was supposed to be involved, right?
Thibodeau,
which is the reason. Which is the reason I drove out there. Too, and the woman from Gremlins, who I loved,
Jackie Joseph.
Yeah. I was like, Gremlins and I Love Lucy, 2 of my favorite things in the world, and those 2 people were supposed to be involved.
Yeah,
and then happened.
And most people probably don't know how many people actually did not participate that were asked and was going to be there and be in it. It is interesting, but it took a lot of people, some brave souls, to go out there and shoot a movie during the whatever this was. And so we're going to watch this movie, and they're going to show immediately when they go to me. I'll try to stop it, but I'll tell you a little foreshadow for you. When they're sitting all at the stage, as all festivals do. Now, just back in the story is I had never done Gomer. Now, all of a sudden, they all adopted me, and I've kind of adopted them as my family, my Mayberry family, and I am, for all intents and purposes, I am Gomer for the festivals nowadays, and I couldn't be more thrilled. That's what I got out of this.
Sweet.
But we'll see. When they show this film, we're all at the festival sitting on stage as they introduce the star the guest of services for the festival, and I'm there. I'm actually in this scene getting filmed, and I didn't know this. I'm actually sitting there trying to work on my mannerisms as a Gomer. But they captured that on film, and they put that in the movie, and that wasn't me acting. That was me going.
Your Gomerisms.
Working through my head and some facial expression actions, and then evidently somebody was filming all that. Which also
man, that Gomer's a real goober.
Improvised.
I see what you did
It turned
there.
into an improvised thing where something funny should have happened, so I ended up standing up and applauding. It turned out to be a great idea, but I didn't ever do it again after that second take, third take, fourth take, because it wasn't in the script. Although it turned out to be a nice little addition, but kind of got lost in the moment. I was lost in the moment of trying to find Gomer, and I was so busy trying to find him. That's exactly what that entire scene was for me.
You see, when you hear that word action, that means they're filming you.
Now you tell me.
But I also know where the camera is and where its focus is, and I knew I wasn't in the shot.
Yeah.
You see.
Yeah. Hey, if it makes you feel, I had a cat named Gomer when I was a kid. Favorite cat I ever had.
Nice.
You know, he's one of.
I was allergic, so it was trying to kill me. But
is where that name comes from.
What's that?
I believe Noah had a son named Gomer. I believe.
Oh.
But Chris isn't that old.
I think he turned sinful though.
All right, and Jeff Gossett, my friend, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, Jay. Thanks
Sitting there in front of your shrine.
Yeah.
Shrine of Mayberry.
How did you come about into the whole Mayberry world?
Well, like Eric, I started going to these Mayberry festivals around 99 or 2000.
Wow.
So been doing it a long time.
7th grade.
Oh,
So, hey,
you don't have to
come
say
on,
that.
You don't have to remind us how old we are.
I was going to say, rub it in, Jay. Rub it in.
Yeah. Yours will turn gray someday, too.
It already is. The light. That's why I keep it dim in here.
So I've been going to the Mayberry days, and back then there were quite a few festivals still, because a lot of the cast members were still alive and active and doing a lot of stuff. So we would go to the ones in Nashville at the Opryland Hotel, and the original Mayberry in the Midwest that were held in Newcastle that Eric mentioned was at those, and any other one that we could go to, we went to. And we got a squad car early on. And when you have a squad car, you were kind of on the inside. So
they wanted you there. You're going to come to all the events, right?
We made a lot of good friends, and a lot of good friends with the cast members and stuff. And, friendships that have lasted almost 25 years with some of these folks.
The squad car you acquired is an original from the show?
No, there's no originals from the show.
Okay, so it's a replica?
It's a replica.
Okay.
There's lots of them all over the country. Probably, I don't know. I'm going to say probably a couple hundred anyway.
Well, don't say that. I have the only one. Don't you? There you go.
Yeah.
Come on now. Don't shoot yourself in the foot here.
Now, I do have one that probably has almost... I got about 35 cast member signatures on my squad car.
Wow.
So that makes it a little special. So
on the chassis?
On what?
On the chassis? On the seats?
No, on the dash.
Oh.
On the dash and the pillar post up the side of the windshield, because the dash is so full. But anyhow, we've done these.
Run, but they look good.
I have not started the car since we filmed the movie. I think I drove it twice after we filmed Mayberry Man, and I have not got it out of the garage or drove it since then. And
he got it detailed. They said, I can't get those damn signatures out of the dashboard.
That's it. Man, we took all day scrubbing all that scribbling off your dashboard. I hope you're happy.
Your grandkids need an ass whooping.
Oh, man.
Scribbling all over your dashboard.
Yeah. So through the festivals and stuff, and I was heavily involved with the first Mayberry in the Midwest that was in Danville, Indiana. And when Greg Shell talked Stark Howell into coming to Mayberry days the first time, they were surfing buddies, and really hadn't, at the time when they first met, they had no idea that each of their dads had been on the Andy Griffith Show twice.
Oh, wow.
And they finally figured that out. And, and Greg kind of hounded Stark, hey, you got to come to Mayberry Days. And Stark was like, why would I go to Mayberry Days? Well, you meet the fans. It's great. You'll love it. You sign pictures of your dad. This sounds familiar, doesn't it? If you watched the movie. And he's, why, my dad's been gone for 20 years. Why would I come and do that? Oh, you just got to try it. So
yeah,
Greg talked him into it.
What a weird legacy to be so iconic that your children can continue to sign for you.
Yes, exactly. So when Greg come into Mount Airy for the first time with Stark, Greg had been there several years, but Stark come with him, and me and Butch Ruffner, who unfortunately couldn't be on here tonight, we were the first people Stark met when he got to Mayberry Days. So he had a lot of interaction with the tribute artists and stuff like Eric throughout the week at the events and stuff that they were a part of. But when the evening was done, he was back at the hotel hanging out with us or going to dinner with us and stuff. So spent a lot of time with Stark, and the story's kind of similar to Eric's. He called me, probably a couple weeks after the Mayberry Days. And I think he might even said something while he was there that he had this idea. Then a couple months went by, and he said, hey, have you checked your inbox for anything for me? And no. Well, check your junk mail. And there was the first script. He had sent me the script, and it was called Mayberry Misdemeanor. It wasn't called Mayberry Man. Eric, I don't know if you ever had that one or not. You probably did.
Yeah.
But and he's like, have you read it? Yeah, no, I haven't read anything. Well, go to at least page whatever, 57 or something like that. And it was basically the Mayberry Man coming to the festival and meeting all these fans. And Jeff was in the script. It was all of us that stayed at the hotel. And Chris, that's the part you read for, because I was there when you read for that part at the Quality Inn in Danville. You probably don't remember me, but I
remember it.
I definitely remember you. And that, like you said, got cut out of the script. And so after that happened, I'm like, well, my part's gone. I'm not going to, have anything in this, because he kind of cut us out of it.
Trust me, it's a lot better to be cut out before you film it than after. When
Exactly.
It's all up.
But it didn't, when it come down to the filming and stuff, they found out really quick that they weren't going to be able to film the bulk of this down in North Carolina. So Greg's like, hey, go up to Jeff's festival that he helps with up in Danville. They'll do anything for you. So that's how they ended up in Danville. And then COVID set in, and the festival got canceled. But Stark had already...
We're making our own festival.
he was already, he had a timeline, and and by then we had started raising money and everything, so he wasn't going to call it off because of COVID. And we Hollywooded the festival and everything. But I've kind of been in on the whole Mayberry Man thing since the start, and helped with a lot of the fundraising and getting the word out, and helped with the kickoff in Danville. Just anything that I could do. I didn't really expect to have a part in the movie. My wife Stephanie and my kids Coy and Carly all showed up at the filming, and we were PAs and did whatever Stark and Court wanted us to do. And
for everyone listening, PA stands for pissant. I mean, production. I've been that many a time myself.
Yeah.
And now Reggie and Rayfield are the true stars of Mayberry.
Yeah. But yeah, so
from PA to star of Mayberry Man series.
Yeah.
Everybody, so on the set one day, Court's like, but I was just doing PA work. I was hanging the banners that you see, in the town square, just setting up the stages that Chris was on when his first scene, setting all that stuff up. That's what we were doing. And I don't know, probably 2 days into it, Court said, go see Stark. He said, I want you to do a part. And I went and seen Stark while they were over there filming, and had a break there. And he said, nah, you don't want to do that. He said, that's probably going to get cut anyway. He said, Wednesday, you're going to be Rayfield. I'm like, okay. I said, well, what's that? He goes, yeah, I read the script. I said, I finally read all the script, but I don't remember it. He said, well, just get your script. You'll be all right. I said, well, is is it going to be hard? He's like, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. He said, just read your script and we'll film that part on Wednesday. And so that's how I got cast as Rayfield. And it was a small part. It's like 6 lines. I'm the first Mayberry fan at the festival that asked Chris Stone for an autograph.
So they just ended up pairing you two up because you were real life buddies.
Yeah, Butch comes in right behind me, and he's in the line, and he's the close talker that you'll see, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. There's some little funny stuff there on that. I'll have to speak for him since he's not with us tonight. But really Stark, he was really casting us doing what we'd done for 25 years. Butch even longer than me, Mayberry fans standing in an autograph line. It was just an easy part.
He's like, can you do this? You're like,
yeah,
on it 117 times.
Yeah, it's like, I've been practicing my whole life.
Yeah. And I was nervous as could be, as nervous as Eric was when he was filming his judge part, I'm sure. But the lady that played my wife, Jenny, she was an actress from Ohio, and she kind of talked me through it and got me calmed down, and I think it went pretty well. I don't think we ever messed up a take on my
all of you, 3 of you were great in the film, and you were about to see that as we watch.
Yeah,
you all naturals, and
nice.
I had done a thriller. I was in one scene in some thriller in Ohio. Great director George Johnson. How you doing, bud? He made a movie called Thy Neighbor, and I was the mechanic, the middle of the movie when the guy finds out that his brakes have been cut. I'm the mechanic who tells him that's what I'm. He loved me, and for years we've been talking about, different things, and he's like, he goes, if I ever have another mechanic, you're going to be like my in-world mechanic. So any movie that, even if it's not related, I want you to be my reoccurring mechanic guy, but it hasn't come up again yet, unfortunately. But I think he actually sent me this casting, or he tagged me on Facebook or something in it. And he's like, this is in Danville, Indiana. You should go check it out. And I did. And yeah, I think I was actually driving home that same day. I believe he called me and offered me Doug, which I think was just written as a fat, goofy guy. So.
Well, you were a great Doug. You were a fantastic Doug.
Oh, I appreciate that.
A lot of people mention you, so.
Oh yeah.
Rick told me I was his son's favorite. I was like, oh, stop. But yeah. So even when we auditioned, though, it was more kind of sane. The way it was written, it was a little more sane. And by the time I showed up to shoot, I think it was day 10. He goes, we're making way more of a goofy comedy than I thought. So he goes, I'm gonna need you to bring it from here to all the way up here. So that's how Doug was born.
Well, you were
welcome to Mayberry, yeah.
One of my favorite scenes is your scene in the car where Chris calls you Dan. And
actually, it's
Doug. I mean, that's hilarious. And of course, I got a headache. Well, I mean, you just killed that scene. That was just hilarious.
Thank you. Are we ready to start the film together?
I think so, gentlemen.
All right. You guys ready?
Sure, as long as I got power, I got the time.
All right. Well, I guess if Chris bounces out, we know what happened.
Yeah.
Well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we present. Not we present. You have to go to YouTube, Amazon Prime, or what was the other one? Tubi.
Tubi. Yep.
Tubi.
Most of us are queued up at. Yeah. Most of us are queued up at 13 seconds. I'm on YouTube, and it's right after the media introduction there, and it's fading in on the desk. Okay.
Okay.
Everybody ready to press play? Call
Ready.
it, Nick.
I wonder what's going to happen.
Ready?
He's this time.
Action.
Most iconic television shows. Its popularity has been matched a few times in history. Millions of people still watch the reruns worldwide. Facts. I was on a plane in October flying to LA, and there was a young, maybe 20-year-old dude watching it on his phone next to the Andy Griffith Show.
Wow.
Woo!
You even got to use your real last name.
Yeah. That's the real judge's robe from the court.
Wow.
He didn't like the one that I had. He said, "You don't look like a judge. You're going to wear mine. Here, wear this robe."
Brett Varvel, star of the film, the Mayberry Man. This guy's great too. All the people in the courtroom here are great. Were these local hires? Do you guys know?
Yeah, those guys are all in my agency.
Okay.
And her.
I
never got to meet her.
Chris is like, I wish I did.
I think some of these people are also friends of Brett's. The bailiff guy is in some of Brett's films.
Well, but he's from my agency. His name's Reggie.
What a smart aleck.
You said this was the first day of shooting, or just for you?
This is the first day of shooting. This is my first time on a film set. I have no clue what to expect.
And you're front and center.
Wow.
Yes, here I
Running
am.
the show.
You're a natural.
Well, for some reason, though, it took a long time. Why was that, Eric?
Yeah, it was 9.5 hours to film this 5 minutes.
Well, it took him
Wow.
8 hours to get you out of the dressing room crying.
Well, we didn't want to talk about that part. Well, and you guys know, it's okay, we're going to film this angle, then we're going to do the cameras, we're going to film that angle, then you're going to do the 2-shot, then the 1-shot. I mean, it's just, they set
Gotta
it up
love
50
what-
million different ways.
Gotta love
to
coverage.
capture all this. Yeah.
Eric, how many times did you call it Mayberry Days before you finally called it Mayberry Fest?
Oh yeah, because the real one versus the fictional one. Yeah.
No. I spent a lot of time practicing not to do that.
I was happy that my Mayberry Fest line made it to the trailer.
That
My
guy
one
yells
trailer
out
comment.
fried chicken in the middle there. I didn't understand it the first couple times I saw it, but has created a shirt that says fried chicken that he wears for himself at Mayberry. Is that Pierce? Is that who that is, Eric or Jeff?
Yeah, Jim Pierce. Yeah.
You guys got any favorite Brett stories from set?
Well, let me tell you this. The gavel pound in there, of course, I did it in the middle of the scene and there at the end. The real judge came by at lunch, and they said, "Judge wants to talk to you." Oh, my gosh, what have I done now? And so he wanted a picture with the movie judge. But then he asked me, because he must have heard it. He said, did I hear you banging my gavel? I thought, oh, my gosh, it's in the script. I got to do it. That's
JJ Bidwell, yay! Oh, sorry.
And nice. Hey,
Yeah,
Chris Bauman, Derek
Hey,
Lowry,
Lowry, Chris Bauman, yay!
And that's a big deal, man.
Judge, yeah, I mean, it's in the script. I've been banging.
Yeah, that's a big deal to get your opening credits.
I've never
I know,
banged
right?
a gavel.
I did not expect it. I was thrilled.
All of you guys made the opening credits, man. I'm jealous.
Don't worry, I'm not even on the
Should
show,
be.
bud. You're gonna be. You're going to be front and center there.
Those are Howell kids there.
Oh, yeah. Capitol Record. Aren't they? They tore that down or tearing it down, aren't they? That building?
They
I feel like I heard that
don't
recently.
they?
I've been there. Holly Weird. Producer Court Howell.
That guy there in the background behind the car. Did you guys see that? That's Jeff Berry back there washing that car.
I saw someone trimming the hedges too.
And that house across the street there belonged to a couple of my friends for years and years that lived there, right across the street.
Yeah. And this was what, like the governor's mansion or something?
Oh, it used to be a governor's mansion.
Oh, okay.
Right.
In Indianapolis, correct?
Right there on Meridian Street.
Well, I think we were all there that last day, or that last scene at least.
Yeah.
Jacob's great here.
Oh, man.
He's great in this film.
Oh,
great.
he is a killer.
This is a different interior, I believe, right?
Right. It's the second one of those big mansions up there in the same area.
I wish the dog had more scenes, to be honest. My dog was on set that last day at the mansion.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He was in his crate, unfortunately, but yeah. I had a very shady hotel incident that I was like, I'm not leaving my dog here. I booked a hotel room in Indianapolis, and yeah, people kept pounding on my door in the middle of the night to buy drugs. And then one of them knocked so hard, like the door popped open, it wouldn't lock again.
Wow.
I was like, I don't have any drugs. Get out of here.
You guys noticed that Chris never did take a drink of that beer.
His loss. Cheers.
Uh-huh.
Stark does have a great director's eye, though.
Yeah.
This was his first live action directing, right? He came from animation at Nickelodeon and Disney. He was telling me, I think he did Recess and Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both shows that I loved as a kid.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's got some credits. He also worked on what was it, Darkwing Duck, or I think he had a maybe storyboard for Darkwing Duck or Goof Troop or something like that.
Yeah. They paid an enormous amount of money to rent that
bungalow. Is that what they're called?
Yes. And if they went like 1 minute over, it was like another $1,500 or something like that.
It's a beautiful location. Well, and they did such a great job of finding these locations.
Yeah.
And it really does add to the authenticity of the movie, you know?
Yeah.
You can't tell me this guy's a fancy movie star and not show me a little bit of it, you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But God, it must be hard going through life looking like him, huh? What a hideous boy. Oh, that poor schmuck.
Yeah, it's
He walked on set and I go, yeah, you look like a damn movie star. Yep. Look at Nick's falling in love right now. Googly eyed. I'll get you his number.
It's a gift and a burden.
we were with some people at the fair the other night, and somebody said something about, "Hey, I saw you in the Mayberry Man movie," and then the other three ladies that were standing there all of a sudden started talking about Brett, and I was quickly forgotten.
Yeah,
that's the way it always.
What
goes.
did they think about Doug though? No, nothing.
You were way at the bottom of the list, Doug. We all were compared to Brett.
Yep.
I read for the part of the brother.
I thought you were going to say his mother. He was just.
Oh Lord!
Do we get any of his mother in the show, or is she supposed to be passed in the lore?
No, they do show her.
Yeah, okay, cool.
She ends up actually in that same beachside bungalow. I don't know that. I don't know it's supposed to be that, but it is the same place. I think Court snuck in my audition for this in one of the Mayberry Man lives just to embarrass me.
I haven't seen that, Jeff. I'm gonna have to look that up.
No,
who is the actor who plays the brother?
Rob Dees. That's another friend of Brett's. He's in a lot of Brett's stuff, but he might be in your agency, Chris. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if he is,
but I know he's in a lot of Brett's films.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, Brett looks like he's been pretty busy. He's got quite a few things coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be in a couple of series on PureFlix.
What was that movie he was in with Kurt? Oh man,
The American Underdog. The Kurt Warner story. Yeah.
That's the football one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played the Packers coach that cut Warner almost immediately. He's got a brief scene, but that's a big time movie, you know. That's
yeah.
Then he did Running the Bases came after that, and that's a really good show.
Baseball? Went from football to baseball?
It is, yeah.
Do we have a golf movie next? You better have Shane.
Highlight comes up next.
Yeah, you got to have Jacob in the golf movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That scene killed me.
This is a tearjerker moment for a lot of the ladies. I won't say that I shed a tear, but I know
He's
a lot
damaged.
of the ladies do.
The ladies want to save him. I got to fix him. I'm broken too. No one's ever volunteered to fix me. What the hell?
Oh, hey, here your part's coming up, Doug.
Uh-oh.
Now,
For those of us that are involved, it's fun to watch. Here,
now that is Stark's other brother right there.
This scene was in North Carolina. This, and they stitched it all together. Most people don't know that, but it's fun for us to kind of watch how they go from place to place. Look at that guy. There's the star right there.
I love the sound effect here.
Listen the sound effect when they put the creaking in the car. Or maybe they did. Maybe that was natural. I get it. It lowers a foot.
That's great.
Now, I was not driving this car because I did not know how to drive a stick. This is them pushing up and down the poor man method there, they call it, right?
So you're saying that's for sale, huh?
It is for sale.
I should buy it and learn how to drive it. That car was the death of me. What you gonna get? It was nice playing a sweet person for a change because I'm such an a-hole, you know. It's nice to play a human being that people appreciate once in a while.
They told us that sneeze was improvised, and it's hilarious too.
So that
parking
shot
lot
went
in the
from
back
pulling
there
into
is
Mount
where I had to
Airy.
learn how to drive this thing.
Yeah, this is Indianapolis.
This
and they
is
were-
Avon. Yeah. They patched that together. You don't even notice it.
Was that the Mayberry Motor Lodge there sign?
It's pulling into town off 52. You go past Ray's Starlight Lounge.
Oh, on the window
Oh,
behind
okay,
him. Yeah.
right.
When they're
Yeah, you
driving
can see
down
Alan and Rick on the poster. Oh, it's gone in that shot,
there
isn't
they
it?
are.
And when they cut to the wide shot, it's gone though. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, at the premiere in Danville, this guy comes up to me and he's like, "Oh man, you were my favorite," and I was like, "Oh, cool." And he's like, "I was your double in the driving scenes." Another big bald guy. I was like, "Hey, bud." Took a picture with him. Well, Court emailed me like not too long before shooting, and he's like, "Can you drive a stick?" And I said, "No, I cannot." He said, "Okay, thanks." I show up on set. "Okay, we're ready for you." Get in the car. I look down. I go, "Oh shit." I think he misread my email.
Coming up here is I don't know if you guys have this experience. I've watched this thing, and it took me 2 or 3 times watching it to pick on something that was really subtle. I think it's hilarious now, but I didn't even notice it during filming. That Brett's reaction to me when I tell him, "Now here, you got to call me the mayor." I missed it totally. And I even missed it the first couple of times I watched it. But it's just hilarious what he does.
You know, got the Mayberry Fest shirt I like. Alan wanted to be here tonight. He's actually driving down for the Mount Airy meetup. He will be. He said he'll be on our show at a future date, though. I think he wants to talk about. He told me he wanted to talk about.
You can see me there in the background going around that blue car. My wife's in the red, white, and blue shirt. We walked that block for about 4 hours while they filmed this.
Oh wow! There's Chris. Look at these goofballs. I love it. That's not the mayor. That's the judge. Wait a minute. Is Juanita the one that was never seen on the show? Is that right?
Well,
No, that's the
Juanita
mayor's
at the
daughter.
diner was never seen, but Juanita, the mayor's daughter, was actually seen a couple times.
Gotcha.
That's Christy McClendon. They live in Georgia. She's actually a wonderful singer. So it was fun for her to do this part.
They performed at the premiere, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the jug band, wasn't it? Like when
Right,
did they do
yeah.
something with the jug band?
She was so proud that the first time she did that to Chris, he broke and they had to restart. She was so proud she cracked him up.
Huge shout out to all the extras, man. Is that the scene you were talking about, Chris, right there?
Yeah.
There she is. Oh, Karen Knotts. And she has more to do on the show as well, right?
Yeah.
That's his real daughter, Nick.
Yep. Yeah, I was looking at it like in the credits, and I'm like, oh wow, that actually is Karen Nels.
When she does the face, you'll know for sure.
She is Opie's secretary in Return to Mayberry, the movie.
Oh, nice.
Watch that.
So are you guys all up on like RFD and everything too? Like, so we can have you back in the future for that, right?
Maybe.
He's like, eh. I haven't seen a ton of RFD, but like I love Ken Berry and F Troop we covered, and we'll do Mama's Family eventually. I loved him on Mama's Family.
Yeah.
I love anything Mayberry. I would not say a bad word about anything Mayberry. I love Mayberry RFD.
And you know, yeah, he and Jackie Joseph were married for many years. That's a nice connection too.
Who was it? Jackie Joseph and who?
And Ken Berry.
Ken Berry.
They were? Really?
I always just love how he's like such a coordinated individual, and he always plays that great slapstick.
Yeah, he was a tremendous actor.
Yeah, that man knew how to move that body to make that joke work.
He was a total package, singer, dancer. He was great.
Alan's great. He wanted to be here.
And that's Brett's real dad.
Oh yeah, I think I did meet him. One of them.
Famous political cartoonist Gary Varvel.
He's a political cartoonist. Nice.
Very famous Gary Varvel.
Huh.
Oh wow.
I met him on set one day. I don't remember which day. I think I only shot maybe 3-4 days, something like that. Look at that. Rick's got the face down over there. You can see him doing the old Barney.
Yeah.
This town square was amazing too. This is their actual little town square. I like that grumpy looking lady right behind him too. Is she supposed to be B? She's kind of dressed like
Aunt
B.
B.
She is supposed to be Aunt B.
That's great.
She's a local Danville resident, Jeanette Keebler.
And there's the girls back there. Two wild and crazy girls.
Now, the one you've seen there on the left, she is the same girl that played the Juanita Pike there on the courthouse lawn that sang Flow
great.
Gently.
Oh,
So
wow.
she does 3 different roles, I think. Isn't that right, Eric?
I think so. Yeah.
She out Eric there. Number of roles.
Yeah.
Technically, everyone except for me was playing 2 roles because they're all playing themselves and the character they're playing in Mayberry Fest.
True.
So
That's the
Jeff
actor of the
was
man,
himself.
Jay.
Yeah. What was that again, Jay?
I said they were playing multiple roles based on because they're themselves as somebody in Mayberry.
Yes.
I was just a character, and you were
Yeah.
just a character.
There I am at the end of that autograph line. Now you see what I'm wearing there, shorts and a brown shirt. And you'll see how things are filmed out of order and using multiple people over and over.
Wait, they don't shoot movies chronologically? What? What are you talking about?
You'd be amazed about how many people don't realize that.
That guy in the blue shirt out the window kind of looks like Andy Griffith. More as Matlock.
I thought Greg Shell is quite the natural, really.
Oh, yeah.
He
Great.
just already just knows how to
Before I
do
even
it.
knew who his dad was, I watched this and I was like, wow, these guys, like him and the other author together are so funny.
Yeah.
I think he
Or
really channels his
documentarian
dad
stuff.
when he does this. You know, he really channels Ronnie. Some of the facial expressions are a lot like what Ronnie did in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. What Ronnie does now when he takes his picture with you, that fake smile. Is that the kid that you were talking about, or is that a different Opie?
And the leading lady.
Oh.
Ashley Elaine, is that her name? That's her name, right?
Yes.
Letting those people out of the shower.
Hey, there he is. He got the hat,
There
the
is.
shirt. There it is.
And it looked like you guys were coming out of the shower. It's hilarious. I was like, "What?" What's
Like the
going on
YMCA.
there? Turkish bath, 30 cents.
And Janny.
Come on, Roger.
Yeah. I get
I
called
want to call
Roger.
you
a lot.
Roger. I keep forgetting to call you Roger instead.
I forgot that the name gag went to like everybody in this. He couldn't get anyone's name right.
And here comes Reggie. When they filmed that, there was a much better shot of that. He was really, really close, and the camera shook or something, and they had to use that. But Brett just died when Butch did that, and Butch was kind of scared to do it, but Brett's no, get closer, get closer. So you really don't get to see the good cut of it because something didn't turn out right. But
Yeah, see those smaller parts, and now
Oh my
Nick,
God.
those guys are going to be leads on the show. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, excellent.
I wouldn't call
Yeah.
us leads, but
There's going to be a spin-off, Reggie and Rayfield, the whole spin-off series. I can
There
see
we
it
go.
coming now.
Reggie and Rayfield strike back. I want to know what Shingletown is about. Is it about a man who gets shingles or what? What's the...
The whole town does.
He
I'd
does
like to
do
know
a
where
great
Mark come up
Barney
with some-
though.
or start
He
came up
does.
with some of this stuff, you know.
No jaywalking. Chris and Kate. It should be Chris with a K so they could be like the Kardashians.
Oh no. Anything but that.
God, he's such a liar.
I loathe him.
You know, Brett's a
Yeah,
super,
for the man,
super
yeah.
nice guy, but you know, he does have the look of a character that would be exactly like this. You know, slick.
Yeah, he
smooth
played
talking,
Snide very well.
good-looking, You know, ladies' man. You know, I mean, this character though, really at this point is everything that Brett's not.
I spent a lot of time in that little car with him in 3-4 days.
Want to elaborate on that, Jay?
Don't worry, the backseat wasn't big enough for us. I think for the close-ups, I had to, because they wanted the shot in the back window to actually be like a moving car for trees and all that.
Mhm.
I think because I couldn't drive the thing, for his close-ups, they had to put me, like, cram me in the back with them and just keep the camera over, if I remember right.
Oh God. Fortune Carter too.
Because the camera was in the passenger seat. Then you had someone driving, and he needed me for the dialogue to feed him. And so you had me, Shane, or Jacob, and Brett all in the back seat of the car.
And you never once drove the car.
I did into a shot from just in front of that hotel.
Well, you fooled us. That's the actor of the man in you.
That's right. But every time it's a close up when you see the car actually moving, it's them rocking it. and moving like the reflector so the light looks like. These are all great little snippets. These are mostly from Mount Airy, correct?
No, those are from Danville, the town square.
Oh, these are still Danville?
That there is Mount Airy. This is Mount Airy.
Okay, I was going to say, because they have it set up like this, right? Do they keep it that way year round? Wow. Like they have his barber shop. I've seen pictures, right?
There is, Floyd City Barbershop, yep.
So is the
now, guys, look what they got. Looky here.
Is that a Mississippi mud jug? This is the theater where we had the screening, right?
Yes, it is.
In Danville?
That's Bill Wright's Royal Theater. Yeah.
Royal Theater. That's where our premiere was, Nick.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, they had the red carpet out, brought us up in the cars, the like antique cars, and then the few people came up in the. Was it your car they drove up? The cop car?
It wasn't mine. Terry Varvel's car was at the premiere. I don't know if there was another one there other than his. So what they brought you to in the premiere would have been the It's Real car in the movie here.
Okay.
So actually, Jay, did they actually just have your car there and they just like rocked it? You're like
yeah, for my close up. Yeah. And there's Mr. Barry, right?
Yes.
He was everything behind the scenes on this movie. He did all the jobs they needed him to.
Yep.
And more.
I think Jeff was in every aspect of the movie and the series. And that's who I was saying was washing the car when Chris Stone pulls up in his red car, he's in the background washing that old car at the mansion.
He was on set.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was doing everything on all the days I was there. Anything they needed him to, he was right there for them. Big props to him. Nice guy, too.
Yes, super nice guy.
There was no real a-holes on this set that I encountered. I mean, not that we'd say it here, right? But who's got a good a-hole stories?
So this is in Mount Airy. This is at Wally's filling station. They have this and several other set replicas there.
I was supposed to be in was it the loaded goat scene? This guy cracked me up too.
Yeah,
I don't know what changed, and they ended up. I think I only had 1 or 2 lines in that scene, and they decided to give them to Jacob and not fly me out there. Probably just budgetary. I think it's the scene where they're sitting in there, right, where someone recognizes them.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, a couple of the girls. Yeah.
I think I was supposed to be at that table with them or something, and
well, they had to watch the budgets, you know.
Oh yeah.
The one and
well,
only
I still got
Kenneth
to keep the flight credit though, so they didn't save any money.
Oh, Kenneth Junkin, yep, Mr. Otis, I tell you, he's a dandy.
He is super guy. There's Rex Pennycuff in the background there.
So is this guy also one of the regular Mayberry Fest guys or Mayberry Days?
He's one. Him and Alan are probably the longest 2 remaining ones, aren't they, Eric?
I'd say so. Yeah, Kenneth goes back. Kenneth did security for Don Knotts and probably back in maybe even late 80s, early 90s for sure. Yeah, he's been they did an article on him some time ago naming him America's biggest Andy Griffith Show fan.
All these great little side characters that just come in for 1 or 2 lines and they're so good.
Yeah.
I think Stark has just a good eye for random talent like that too, you know?
Yeah.
Just seeing you guys at this festival and going, you know, I'm going to take this guy who's been playing Floyd, for instance, Alan. I'm just going to make him the star of a movie, basically. Who does that? That just doesn't happen, you know?
Right. But Alan is so solid in this thing. It wouldn't be nearly the movie it is without Alan's performance. He was amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
And hear how he goes from Floyd to Alan here is pretty impressive.
So when you get to like season 4 on the show, he can only be sitting down though, right? He's got to sit down the whole show.
Alan does a mix of pre and after stroke Floyd.
Oh no.
That's kind of how he plays it, I think.
The thing I'm excited to see about the show is, from my understanding, that these guys are also playing their real life counterparts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's not just going to be Floyd; he's going to be his real character.
Yeah. I mean, there he is as Alan, you know, and he's so good.
Good.
Now he's Floyd.
You know what's really cool for a lot of us that have been to these Mayberry things for years. I mean, so many of these people that you see in the background,
are
people we've known for years.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, a lot of the people there, I mean, they're just friends. It was kind of like just doing this whole movie with friends.
Well, just looking at this it's only been up 2 weeks, and it's got 367,000 views on YouTube.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
I ain't got no phone calls or nothing.
Uh-oh.
Your invites in the mail, bud. Sorry. Yeah, these two killed me. And now these were supposed to be the other guest stars, right? In these seats instead.
What would have really understanding? Yeah,
if it hadn't been
like
for
Jackie
COVID.
Joseph and those folks we talked about. Yeah.
Okay. But again, if you can't have them, these guys killed it.
Yeah.
I want a movie about Stanley.
The continuing adventures of Stanley.
You will eventually see Stanley.
Okay. Well, Stan Lee, he's dead, ain't he? Oh, I saw Gomer. Gomer over there freaking out.
There's not a person in this scene really that we don't know. Wouldn't you say, Eric?
Yeah, I'd say that's a fair statement.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
We
the
could probably
original
go around
script
and
I
name
was
them all.
in this scene.
There's Colonel Harvey back there.
So the guy sitting there to Chris's right shoulder, that's the guy in the goofy guy in the courthouse scene that grabbed Chris's shoulder and said, "Oh, that's a good one." That's the same guy.
Oh, nice.
Now I don't know these people. I don't know that they were fans or if they were actors. Do you know them, Eric?
No, I don't think I do.
Well, in that case, that's John Tafferty and his wife Elaine and their daughter. She's a real spitfire, Jessica. I didn't make that up.
Just think of all the food you could have ate while you were there, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have made that.
Well, and after watching it, I think that they probably just wanted to develop their relationship a little more.
That gal there is the daughter the stepdaughter or whatever of the guy that owns the Loaded Goat. The tall girl, her dad owns the Royal Theater.
And even they're great. They're not actresses either, and they're just great.
No, well, Emmy Wright is the tall girl. She is an actress.
She's now a director also.
And that is the owner, right?
Yes.
And Scott's also a DJ at the local radio station in Mount Airy.
Really?
And owns the Loaded Goat, yeah.
Chris has a couple, or Scott has a couple businesses other than the Loaded Goat in Mount Airy. He's a super nice guy, and he was a big supporter of the movie. Big supporter.
Great golfer,
so
too.
If you go there, you have to get the Dynamite Burger with zesty fries.
The Dynamite Burger? What's that?
It's on the back board there.
It is a good place to eat.
It better not be a Dynamite Burger like everything at Taco Bell gives you dynamite. Right out the old
different type of dynamite.
Yeah. See back there, it says Dynamite Burger with, what is that, Zyrus zesty fries?
I think I've had the Dynamite Burger there.
That's the way I usually tip.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I think that's a little reference to the Dr. Pendyke episode, the Miracle Salve episode, where Barney changes his voice. And
I think didn't Brett say he purposely didn't watch any because he's like, my character doesn't know anything about the show. I shouldn't.
Yeah,
I think he did say that.
I got to ask you, gentlemen, like, how many times have you probably watched the entirety of Andy Griffith Show?
I couldn't even tell you how many
it would
times.
be embarrassing. I would say that you could take almost any episode and play the first 30 seconds to a minute, and we could tell you what episode it is, what the storyline is, quote about half the script, and it's bad.
Here comes some more of the movie's eye candy right here.
If you were to say, I've watched every episode of the Andy Griffith Show 100 times, it would probably not be a stretch.
Wow.
For me. I mean, seriously, that's how bad we are. If that's a bad thing.
No, that's not a bad thing.
I just love the implication that that's the music that Doug listens to when he's cruising on the road.
Well, that's what you listen to, right, Jay?
Well, I
told him I listen to DMX.
Listen to music like that.
No turtles were harmed in the making of this film.
I was going to say, my wife Tracy would be very, very happy that no turtles harmed.
That turtle is alive and well. It was at the Mayberry Man tent at the last Mayberry days.
Oh, wow.
The place I just moved from in August, that road, man, I lived there 2 years. I must have saved 300 turtles out of the road.
Wow.
And now that I don't live there anymore, I'm afraid. Somebody go save the turtles. From as big as a quarter to as big as a hubcap, I saved all kinds of turtles out of that street.
That turtle, is about as big as a sack of horse feed. It's about a 60-pound turtle. It was
cow.
huge.
Yeah, it don't look that big because there's nothing in the shot really to compare it to. Yeah,
It is a very big turtle.
I was going to say, did they give it a name or?
Its name's Peanut.
Is it in the union? Is it on strike now?
He probably is.
Technically, we should all be on strike right now.
I think they did such a good job with the lighting and the mood of the trading post in this shot. It's just
yeah, I liked this scene. This was the one that did it for me. This is this is what it was the arc, as the turning point here.
Who's the other actor in this scene? He's great.
His name's Gary Nation, and he is in a lot of stuff, and I think he's in some other stuff with Brett.
Okay, he's great.
He's got a lot of credits. I'm sure he's on strike now.
Yeah. And just a warning, I'm going to be losing you here extremely soon. My charger doesn't charge as fast as I.
Oh no!
As I lose power, as I.
Any more insight? Get it out now.
Call me.
You could plug you got anything you want to plug? Website, email, any of that? Put it up.
I'm not plugging anything now, except for a 1986 Mercedes-Benz in mint condition.
I don't know. I know where you can buy a little blue car. He tried to pawn it off on me last night.
What was that line in Big Fat Liar? He's like, they told me I was picking up a little blue car. They didn't say anything about a little blue man.
This scene just clutches. For the Mayberry fans, this is the clutcher right here. It really pulls at your heart.
About. You know, and I probably shouldn't interrupt this. I think everybody who made the film and participated in it felt a little bit like Chris Stone at this point, saying, I'm that way too. You can change it. It changed me going there. For real.
Yeah, that's one of the great things that's happened is Chris becoming part of our Mayberry family. It's been so good for all of us.
That's nice.
And I love the end, the callback at the ending to this.
Yeah, that is that's great.
What do you think so far, Nick?
Excellent. Loving it.
Oh, was this your first time watching?
This is actually my first time watching.
Wow.
I've read, but you know, like in the past couple of weeks, when it was available, I haven't been able to. So this is my inaugural.
Well, that's
watch.
awesome. I like that. That makes our heart swell up a little too.
Yeah. Well, you know, for a bunch of amateurs, and speaking of amateur, I told you, I mean, this was my first time ever to do anything even remotely like this. And a lot of other people hadn't really been actors either. And on a shoestring budget and during the middle of COVID, the more I think about it and the more time goes by and the more times I see it, even I think, doggone, that turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
I meant what I said on the red carpet. I said, man, I've been in so much crap. It's nice to be in something good for a change. I always tell people, I said, man, I've been in 100 shitty movies and 2 good ones. This is one of the good ones.
I try to tell Gossett, I'm like, they're all garbage, man. Be lucky, be grateful.
These guys are great, aren't they?
Yeah.
So good.
Uh-oh.
I always get a kick out of how he's got his picture. His own
I was just
picture
going to
on
say,
his
his own
phone.
picture is his wallpaper. Yeah.
Yep.
You got to recognize. Better recognize. Oh, good. Now we can talk shit about Chris now that his computer died.
Uh-oh.
He's not all the way converted because he's still a little bit snaky here.
Yeah.
We do breakfast then, yeah.
He's still trying to work his mojo.
Come here, bud. Want a cameo? Come on. Come on. Oh, God. Come on.
Now, Nick right there is the writer-director. Oh, God. That's Stark right there.
Yep. It's the man. I think he did some of the Recess like movies too, if I recall.
That's his Alfred Hitchcock cameo.
Yeah.
And who's that there? Is that the movie Pooch?
This one here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was on set at the last day at the mansion there.
Nice.
Now, this is not a movie prop. Alan has carried this for years at the Mayberry events. Oh, yes.
The cat photos?
The cat photos.
Nah, that's not it. You know what I want to see him do next, though, is I want to see him recreate all the other Don Knotts roles.
Oh no, Mr. Furley.
I want to see him as Mr. Furley. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
How about the Ghost of Mr. Chicken?
Oh,
There you
yeah,
go.
little Luther Heggs there.
Wilmington. There's a lot of movies shoot there.
Oh yeah. Matlock was shot there, wasn't it?
Yeah, they moved it to there after they finished the series in Wilmington.
Aren't you excited they're bringing Matlock back with Kathy Bates?
Really?
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I mean, Kathy Bates is great, but that's what I said. Why the hell's it got to be Matlock?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's, again, fantastic actress, but
yeah,
I'm not so sure about the casting.
That's the thing, though, is you have to gender swap everything now to make it
yeah.
relevant again.
Well, and what Alan said, that Alan and Otis always ride together to almost all the Mayberry events.
Just think, he's in a car dressed like that right now on his way to the Mayberry meetup. You say, damn it, Floyd? Or dag nabbit, Floyd?
of course. Nick, you're going to really have to watch this movie without us running our mouths through it.
no. Again, it's adding to the experience, but I will be watching it again.
He's got to watch it with his wife.
Exactly.
What? It would be so easy for this to feel almost too sappy sometimes, and they pull it off so well, keeping
I was
it
gonna
like
say
light.
you riding the line perfectly.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
You know, in the Mayberry family, and a lot of the people that were in this, 80% of the people in this, I mean, that's the way we feel, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got it right, Eric. I mean, that's
It is. And until you experience it, it is hard to describe. That's what, Stark and all these guys experience is like, you tell them that, that can't be right. But you get spend a little time around everybody, and it's amazing how it affects you that way. Well,
So I can start going as dog now, right?
you can.
Yeah. The thing about these guys is, and I try to keep reminding myself that these are guys who are like, and you said it earlier, they're guys who are playing characters. And so it's that, multiple sort of levels of stuff that, and that's like Alan and Rick there. They're really not being the tributes like they ordinarily are. They're being people who are being tributes. And so they play it a little bit differently than they do at festivals and stuff. But it's just kind of neat how they do that.
Who was the one that someone said was friends with Don Knotts, and they promised him they would never play him in a film, so they turned it down?
Yeah, his name was David Browning, and he basically was the Barney tribute artist for many, many years at our events. Fantastic guy, tremendous actor, incredible. The way he would interact with crowds, I've never seen anybody quite like that. And he opened for Don and did a lot of shows with Don there for I don't know how many years, 10 or 15 years probably.
And he made a promise to him that he would never play him in a film, huh?
Correct.
So he turned it down.
And he said, I just really feel like I've got to honor my word to him, even though he's gone now. I
feel like the loophole though is that you're not playing Don Knotts, you're playing a guy playing Don.
That's true.
Yeah, you
That's
could.
True.
But
he just, that was something that he really felt strongly about. He would have been great, no question about it. He would have been tremendous. But, that because he did that, now we've got Rick. Rick's fantastic.
Yep. He travels and does seminars and stuff too, doesn't he?
Yep.
Is he do stand up?
He does. He does audience warm up for Huckabee show, and he does corporate speaking. He does stand up. He just does all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I think he said that he used to do a little bit of Don Knotts in his stand up act.
Yeah.
Now, where's he based out of?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, Nashville. Uh-oh.
He even has and I don't know what the name of it is off the top of my head. I should, but I can't remember it. But he has sort of almost like a stand-up training thing that he does through podcasts and through other stuff too. He's got a lot of stand-up folks that he works with, and so he teaches stand-up.
This is the three burglars that me, Jeff Barry, and
none of you got,
and Chris all auditioned for.
I sent in an audition for this too.
Did you?
Yeah.
We did it right up top there at the Mayberry Cafe. They were the first ones I met, I think.
My name's Warren. Now that's an inside baseball kind of thing on Mayberry. That the deputy that comes on after Don leaves the show is Warren Ferguson.
Oh,
so that's kind of a little Mayberry Easter egg for the real fans,
Yep.
He wasn't even in that many episodes, was he?
He was in 11, and now this here's a little inside that. So when they do the interior here, when they go in here where the General Lee is,
Mm-hmm.
This is a garage on a farm. At the end of this, where you see Shane buying the house at the end, it's their garage.
Spoiler, gee, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, one of the things that this reminds me of, you watch Rick there become Barney.
Yeah.
Don Knotts, in real life, was almost nothing like Barney Fife.
Right.
Very quiet, very reserved.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people say, including Andy, would say that it would be fascinating to be on set and watch Don Knotts turn into Barney Fife.
Like the whole
And kinda
transformation.
Like doing the facial expressions, doing all that.
Nick
kind
and
of
I
stuff.
are big Gilbert Gottfried fans too, and you always heard that about Gilbert, how he's this
Yeah.
crazy big personality, but in real life he was so subdued.
Like quiet and
You guys may have heard it. I heard a voicemail recording of him. I think it was called in the Howard Stern show, about the upcoming show. And I had never heard his real voice before.
Yeah. Right.
It was fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's like everyone knows the stand-up voice or the movie voice. That's what we're all used to. But it's the same thing. Just like these characters, it's like, oh, we're so accustomed to their character voices.
Right, exactly. Like Doug.
What'd you say when you heard my real voice? What?
Wait a minute. Have I got the right guy here? Wait a minute.
He was expecting me to come on. Hey!
Oh yeah, I'll tell you another story. You guys remember Elizabeth McRae?
I do not.
Elizabeth McRae she was in everything. She was in Gunsmokes early on in her career. She played Luann Poovey, Gomer Pyle's girlfriend on Gomer Pyle USMC.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And she had that big, broad Southern accent, too. And so, and one of her kind of lines, she would say, well, actually, she would say that a lot. And I don't know if that helps you remember who she is. But I met her for the first time at a Mayberry event years ago. And I came up to say hello to her. And then she lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina. My son was going to college there at that time. And so I'd mentioned to her that, he's going to college there. And I understand you're from there. And she looked at me and she says, well, actually, that was her real voice. So that's the opposite of what we've been talking. I expected her to just talk like a normal person. I thought that was a big character she was putting on. That's really how she talked.
Well, I met Roger Jackson, the voice of Ghostface from the Scream movies. It was so weird just listening to him talk normal, And then he's like, "What's your name?" And I go, "Hey." And then from that moment on, it was all, "Hello, Jay. You want to die tonight?" And I was like, "Yay! Yay!" Nerding.
So, Doug, I'm glad you didn't get to play one of those crooks. But the main crook there that said, "Hey, aren't you Chris Stone?" So the squad car that they're saying is the real car, that's actually his car.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's Terry Varvel, who is the uncle to Brett Varvel,
the star. Wow. Chris. And he also is a Barney tribute artist, right? Yeah.
Yep. In that scene where they had the car outside of the studio there, and it was all dirty and dusty. Terry hadn't had that car, like 2 weeks or something like that?
Oh,
they were throwing cake powder all over it. The art lady was, and throwing leaves and baking stuff all over it. And I think Terry was about to freak out.
Bo Pierce there, he's a good guy too.
Yeah
he is.
I don't know if I'd recognize him without the overalls and the jug.
He looks different.
I chatted with him a little bit at the premiere. Very nice guy.
Yeah.
I think they put this shot in there for the ladies.
I pitched that he hanged up the phone, and then I rolled over out of the sheets next to him, but they didn't go for that one. Doug? He's like, or Dan, get the hell out of my room. Prison. For some reason, I remembered his dad being dead. He's like, get here and sign your own autographs. What the hell is your problem? His dad's got a crush on Kate, too.
Subplot, yeah.
Dog, what are you chewing on over here? We're trying to have a heartfelt moment here, you little furry prick.
Brett does a good job on these kind of scenes. He kind of really brings you into what that would, makes you feel what that would feel like.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard phone call to make.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Again, great straight man. You talked about Andy.
Yeah.
He's basically the straight man in this movie. The romantic lead. But he also has some very funny moments, too.
Yeah.
You don't want to get kicked in those boots, jeez.
This was filmed right after my scenes out there. I remember watching this through the windows.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll get to see more of their budding romance, right, on the show?
Yes, it develops.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, the series is really going to kind of pick up where the movie leaves off and just further the storyline and let you in onto the lives of the tribute artist, what they really do. You see, this Barney, Warren does this. Alan Floyd, he really does this. And you do see these two goobers again too. So
good. What does he say? This guy's fun too. I met him at the premiere. He was so excited.
Mayberry has transformed him.
He's like, oh, do I rather want to deal with these fools or the paparazzi in L.A.? Let's see. Which one's more of a headache?
It's like, which ones are more like family? It's like the ones that are kind and neighborly, or the ones that are chasing you down.
Vin Diesel comes out. Shot. Someone say family? This is great. Is that a car alarm going off in the movie?
It was, and they just left it.
It's funny. I never noticed it until I was watching with headphones.
Shit.
Was someone off camera to throw that the other way?
Yeah.
I don't think that they realized what a comedy powerhouse he was going to be either on paper. He brought so much to that role.
Mm-hmm.
I never really got to talk to Jacob either. He was always kind of off. Like, he liked to stay in character. He'd always kind of go off in between shots and just be working on it, you know?
Yeah.
So
Hey,
that is
Carr,
that's the actual inside of the cafe there.
Yeah, this is where
Now,
we had the auditions at, Nick.
Yeah, and
Right
if you
above
notice,
us.
none of the Mayberry stuff is on the walls anymore.
Yeah.
So we went in there and we took pictures. This is one of the things I did. We took pictures of everything, then took everything down.
They had it in the front when I was there, on like the glass case, kind of in the lobby there by the register.
Yeah.
And then I think they had the show playing on the TVs, if I remember
Yeah,
right.
well, there's usually pictures all over the walls, but those were all copyright.
Right.
You know,
Gotcha.
they couldn't show Andy, they couldn't show actual Don Knotts. So we
Right.
had to take all that stuff down and then put it back up when they were done with that scene.
Oh wow.
This is all right around the diner, ain't it?
This is
A couple of blocks away, but yeah.
down the street south of the theater.
Yeah, I remember walking in. Can I seat you? I'm actually here to audition for a movie. Am I in the right place? I mean, I'll take an omelet too, but why don't you kiss the girl? La la. Channel my inner crab.
I want to know how Chris Stone got all those different clothes changes in that one little bag of luggage.
Yeah.
Out of your car, Doug.
Yeah, all those suit coats and not a wrinkle in one of them.
Yeah. My son is right there in that crowd scene that you just seen, and then my squad car is the one that's in front of right there, in front of this yellow school bus.
Oh wow.
Nice.
So I'm driving that. My daughter is in the passenger side, and there's one scene where we kind of turn, and if you pause it, you can see her waving, but she didn't really make it into the movie. There's Karen. There she is. Oh, I missed her again.
Did you catch the leaky boat there, Nick?
Yeah.
Wasn't that one episode?
Now this is in Mount Airy in front of. So you're back in Danville, and it jumps back and forth between.
Where's Aunt B again?
Danville and Mount Airy. That's my car. When we shot that scene, they had me just leaving at an angle. Oh, I'm not going to talk over the mayor's part here.
Oh.
Good for you, Chris.
If Chris Stone was gonna be a tribute artist, which character do you think he'd be good at?
That's a toughie. He's too good looking for.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't quite fit in as a town's.
Hey, there's prosthetics.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You should go as Dud Wash, right?
Well, that's one option.
I don't.
Man, that Chris guy seems fun. Where's he at?
I was standing in the parking lot when you guys filmed this. They did this pretty quick, didn't they, Eric? Couple takes, I think is all it was.
From 9.5 hours for the first scene to this thing here probably got done in less than an hour.
Well, they probably learned a few things that first day to pick up the dang pace, huh?
Probably. Well, it didn't take nearly as many resets either.
He's got great coverage on all these scenes, though.
Yeah,
that's the important. That's what makes a movie look terrible is when you don't get the coverage.
Yeah.
It sucks on the day, but the product always shows in the end. You know.
He did a really, really good job of that, and again, that's why it took 9.5 hours.
There's the one time I drove right there. And as soon as we got out of the shot, I went like this.
Well, that's pretty impressive to be able to take it off without killing it.
Yeah. Oh, it took about 4. And there's Court.
I'll tell you, Doug. Doug. You're going to be forever Doug to me. When we did the premiere, there were 2 people that I did not recognize at the premiere, and it was this gal here.
Yep.
And I didn't recognize you.
Really?
I remember seeing you. I think you had a tux on.
I had a suit coat on, yeah.
Suit coat, yeah. I remember looking at you and making eye contact, and I'm like, who is that guy? I hadn't seen the movie 30 times at that point.
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah, I don't remember if you were on set. I don't think you were on set with me at all.
I don't recall ever seeing you on set. So, but I didn't recognize you. I didn't recognize her, and I didn't have you sign my script, and I really regret that.
Well, there's still time. I ain't dead yet. And I'm going to go out to one of these Mayberry things one of these days.
You need to do that.
You got to let us know when you're going to be at one of them.
Oh, for sure. You said the next one's September?
Yes, North Carolina.
Anybody listening, check them out. Just Google Mayberry Days. What's the other one called? Mayberry in the Midwest. Is that what you said?
Mayberry comes to Scottsburg now. We're over with it for this year, but we have a meeting on that tomorrow night.
There you go.
Yeah, we're going to try to do it again next year. Hopefully it's going to be, it's not firm yet, but hopefully it'll be the third weekend in June next year.
Did you keep that card, Jay?
I don't think I have the card. No.
Oh,
I don't remember
man.
what was on it.
I would have bought
I'm
that
sure
from
Props came up and immediately robbed me of it.
So there's Shane's house. So the garage that the General Lee was in is right to the left of that house.
Oh, wow.
Right
Yeah.
to the left? Don't confuse me. I'm from
I mean,
Mayberry.
it's right there.
He said
Right
left.
to the left.
Right to
I always think of Lucy and Desi in the long, long trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Turn right here, left. Here's his famous line.
There's the mayor. And I'm behind Jeff right there in the background. I think we're both in most of this.
Oh,
scene,
that
aren't
guy
we,
back
Eric?
there with the Hawaiian shirt, the blue shirt, that was my driver double.
Oh, Humphreys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the one who
And that's
did
his
my
name, isn't it?
driving
Eric?
long
Greg?
shots.
Yeah, Gary Humphries, yeah.
Gary Humphreys. Yeah.
Gary Humphreys. Very nice guy. Met him at the premiere. Took a photo with him. He was like, I was you.
That's Fried Chicken Man there next to my right.
I didn't get to do any of these like big crowd stuff. I was never at any of the actual like festival type scenes. And this was the last day of shooting outside this house, right?
Yeah.
As far as I remember. At least for me it was.
So that's the same place they were at when
Yeah.
they were
I forgot she
surfing.
was in the tag in this the end of this.
Now, in the series, Stark and Court's mother does make an appearance. Their actual mother.
Really? I kind of wish he like hopped off like a Hollywood Star Homes tour bus.
Oh,
or
right.
Yeah.
That'd have been great. You just see the bus in the background or something. Like, how'd you find me? You see the bus pulling off. He's actually Alan. The mayor's falling asleep over here.
Uh-oh.
Somebody poke him.
It's past the mayor's bedtime. I'm old.
I kidnapped his children. That'd be really messed. In the series, you learn like the dark secret of one of these guys. Alan's like running a sweatshop.
I may see if I can sell myself as the announcer. You thought you knew Mayberry.
I stayed in the back so I didn't have to sing.
I say I'm looking for you there, Jay, and I don't see you. But
I think he wanted me to be a reveal, and then to reveal her.
Yeah,
so he kept me in the back. I'm in the backyard with my dog, I think, at this point.
There's Chris.
I get one more little moment here where he sees me, and then my big fat butt moves, and you see Ashley.
Yeah. Yep. The actual
no one has
governor's wife
accents
is in that
anymore
scene.
except for me. Everyone has no accent anymore, and I'm still accent.
Yeah. And do you guys know the actual Indiana governor's wife was in that scene?
Really?
I did not.
So this used to be a governor's mansion, and now it's just is it a private residence? It didn't seem like occupied when we were there, but
Yeah, it is. Yeah, a doctor bought that when the state gave it up back in the 70s, and he still lives there, he and his wife.
it was it being remodeled or something when we were there? I remember a lot of like stuff right in the doorway there. We had to cram in. But
I think it was a lot to do with the production. I don't think they were doing any work that I know of.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Little Twilight Zone there. He's a good actor.
It's like Chris was institutionalized after this.
Yeah. Written and directed by Stark Howell. There you go. Good job, my friend. Produced by Court Howell's brother there.
I gotta say,
And this was a song actually written for the film, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt there was just a song up there called Mayberry Man.
The guy that you see winning the pie eating contest wrote this song. Jefferson
okay.
Denham,
Okay.
longtime friend of Stark's.
Nice.
That's another Easter egg right there.
Do tell?
That picture is of Mr. Schwump from the Andy Griffith Show. One of the great unsolved mysteries. He was an extra that was in, gosh, how many episodes, Jeff?
Officially, it's 26, but I found him in a 27th one.
Wow.
Yeah. And nobody knows who he is.
Nobody.
He's a mystery.
I think I did see a YouTube video on that.
Well, you do realize that these credits go on for another hour and a half.
Yeah. We don't gotta watch all these, but hey, I saw my name. That's all I care about. Sure.
I managed to get my name in the credits about 5 or 6 times. So
JJ Bidwell as Dan. Dang it! They messed my credit up. Pie eating contestant. He's one of those. The writer.
that was he wrote a lot of the songs
Nice.
that you hear. I'm pretty
Now-
sure Jefferson wrote this one too.
And did I hear right? That's the actual music cues are from the show. A lot of them, right?
Yeah. Laura
Like
Hagen,
not the music, like the themes obviously not in here, but a lot of the transitional themes.
Right.
yeah, the background music that you hear you'll recognize it from the Andy Griffith Show. Laura Hagen let Stark and Court use
Isn't
that.
that
You hear Aunt B's theme, I think. I don't know. Help me out here, Eric. You see several. You hear.
I think Mayberry March is in there.
Yeah.
I think Barney's theme is in there, and
Yeah, that's the
several.
drum one, right? Kind of the real.
Yeah.
Nice. What would you think, Nick? You got to be nice.
Excellent.
A couple of the
Again,
actors are here, so you got to
definitely
behave.
have to watch it with the wife.
I think your wife will like this one.
And thank you for making me part of the Mayberry family now that I can enjoy this.
Hey,
And,
Nick, you want to go to Mayberry Days with me?
Hey, you never know.
Yeah. You guys need to team up and come down.
We can
There we
maybe
go.
we can record a show there.
There you go.
That would be great.
Heck yeah, we could talk to everyone. We can just set up a mic and have an extra chair. Just come on up, everybody.
Hey, that'd be fun.
I did that on New Year's show on my old podcast one time. We literally just set up at like some kind of hall. It was a Polish hall, New Year's Eve, and we just had all these drunk people lined up, coming up to the
my
mics.
gosh.
It was
Oh no.
no, we should do that with Mayberry people. See?
So the plan is this Mayberry Days to red carpet premiere of the series down in Mount Airy before the actual festival starts. So like on the Wednesday, I think the Wednesday night, it officially starts on Thursday. So that's the plan.
Heck yeah.
And we'll do that. I'm assuming that Stark and Court will at least probably have a Mayberry Man booth, probably set up somewhere during the festival like he did when we premiered the movie. Yeah, you guys should come down and
Excellent.
experience Mayberry.
So do you have a website or a Facebook or anything you want to plug for that stuff? People can check out?
Not personally for us, but I mean, Mayberry Days is out there. Mayberrydays.com will give you all the information you need for that.
Yeah, and people in the region here, if you want to think about coming next year to Mayberry Comes to Scottsburg, we've got a Facebook page and a website, mayberrycomestoscottsburg.com and Mayberry Comes to Scottsburg on Facebook. So we're not trying to take over Mayberry Days by any stretch of the imagination, but we're just trying to bring more Mayberry to this part of the country. So, yep, look it up.
Nick's got another
Sweet.
podcast too. We should probably plug. It's called Death to Mayberry.
No. No. My other podcast is a New Jersey history type of thing. I grew up, my whole life here in the Garden State. So
Our company does a lot of business in New Jersey. I've been out there many, many times.
I love
what part, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, all the way from Bergen County down to Cape May, everywhere in between.
The big joke is actually our podcast name, What Exit? And Cape May is Exit
there you
0.
go. Yeah.
And as you said, Bergen County, that's me. I'm like Exit 161.
Are you where you at in Bergen?
Hackensack.
Well, see, there you
He's
go.
on Murphy Brown
I just
Avenue.
talked to the Hackensack police chief 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
My granddad always said it's a small world for the size of it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's good to know. We're going to have to trade little New Jersey stories there sometime offline.
Sweet. Well, next time you're up this way,
I will look you up.
And like you said, when we do Mayberry RFD, definitely should happen.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
That'd be great. It's been a blast, Jay. Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you. Anything else you want to plug real quick? You good?
I'm good.
He's like, I'm ready for bed. I fell asleep 20 minutes ago.
I got to get up and I got to head down to where Alan is early in the morning. So I got to get my rest.
Have fun at the Mayberry meetup, man.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
Eric, I wish I was going with you, but it just ain't in the cards for me this year.
I hear you, brother. Can't do it all.
No, you can't. But I will
All
talk
right.
to you tomorrow night.
Yep,
Anyone
you
who wants
betcha.
to find us, you can email us at sitcommyface@gmail.com. We're on Twitter, sitcommyface, Facebook, same. You can watch Nick here on Twitch when we stream this lovely, lovely show at NetNick191. I am at BidwellFog on all of your social medias. And I hope you all had fun watching Mayberry Man. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Or the stars.
That's right, with the stars.
Oh, man.
And do keep an eye open for Mayberry Man, the series,
Absolutely.
coming soon.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. Good
Hey,
night.
thanks, Jay. Nick, it's great to see you
Night,
guys.
gentlemen.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you so much.